Alright, so at the beginning of this, Team Black, which is in the blue, takes it on the point, which is something that they do a lot in this series. Um, Whereas Team Vermillion tries to take the bridge area, which is normally a good idea. High ground is pretty good. And they actually go behind Team Black, but they let Team Black cap the point. They don't engage in time to stop the capping. See, Diva gets on there to try and start the contesting, but it doesn't quite work. And we see DWM just kind of charge in, doesn't really have his team with him. It ends up working out okay. They're able to trade out kills. You don't usually want to lose your Reinhardt that early, but they push Team Black into the box, as we like to call it, and off the point. It's not really the best position to hold the point from. It's kind of defensive, but you know, where are you going to go from there? So Team Vermillion is able to actually capture the point. And this is really unfortunate. We get a nano boost onto DWM. He falls off the cliff. That's not how you want to hold the point, and Team Black surges forward, pushes Team Vermillion off. Vermillion just kind of backs up, like, well, we're not going to win that fight. You can see E-Hutch hiding over there. We have a pulse bomb that misses, and then Snoopy Ace, the Reinhardt for Team Black, gets hooked off the point. Never want to see that. Good engage with the whole hog and the self-destruct, pushes them again into the box where eventually, you know, Team Vermillion is able to get control of this. Just by brute force pushing Team Black off the point. And something that I like to point out in all this is that Minxie, the Ana for Team Vermillion, has had almost no pressure on her for the last, I don't know, minute and a half. Just constantly been laying in heals, throwing in grenades, sleep darts, and nobody's been contesting him. Kid Blue was on the Tracer, and it was more focusing on the team that was on the point, which, you know, you can't really be blamed for that, but definitely need to pressure the Ana more. So we have an engage with the sound barrier. We have a charge that kind of, it would have knocked him off the edge had it not been hooked. We have a graviton that nets a quick 3 kills, and then it's just cleanup after that. Now this I did notice, when the soldier for Team Vermillion and also the Diva for Team Vermillion both blow their ults after they've already lost the fight. There is no coming back from this. And they go ahead and use their ults anyways. Doesn't get anything for it. Definitely better ult management would be needed. And yeah, you can see Team Black is holding the high ground as well as holding onto the point, which is, it's good. It provides 2 different angles of attack. We have a nano boost on the Diva. Not sure if that's the best way to engage, but you know what, it works out. They end up getting the Reinhardt moved off the point. Blade, the Ana, goes down, and they're able to brute force push Black off the point again. And Kid Blue gets hooked. And they just came in with a whole bunch of health and a whole bunch of damage on the point. We're able to just literally just bully them off the point, get a pick or 2. So we get an early pick on the soldier with the Roadhog, and they think, okay, now we can go in. Team Black pushes in to the death, gets knocked off the point, but he still tries to ult and misses horribly, as you can see. But it's okay because Youngs comes in with the whole hog. Self-destruct's not going to catch anything, and Team Black just cleans up. And at 93%, they're not going to have to win another fight.
Protect the objective.
Oh, this is my jam.
Alright, we're on to the second point. And you can see both teams taking the high ground. This is kind of traditional, but Team Black just goes hyper aggressive. They send the Ryan in. He gets a kill early on, gets another kill before they finally get to take him down, even though he had a heal debuff on him. Yums is also able to pick out the Reinhardt, who is first through the gate, as he should be, but I would have liked to see Vermillion just kind of deal with that Reinhardt faster, because he didn't have any teammates with him. He couldn't get healed, and he still was able to pick up a second pick. Ballsy move. Now, Team Black decides they don't want the high ground. they're going to play down by the point. And the whole point of going high ground at the beginning is because it's an advantageous position. So they just play on the point and let Vermillion come to them and dictate when they take the battle. Now Vermillion doesn't really bother with the high ground either, so it works out. And neither side really wants to engage. You know, eventually Vermillion is going to have to get onto the point, and Black is willing to wait it out. That was a very risky play by the Reinhardt from Team Black, but with the bubble, he was able to get the Earth Shatter off. Unfortunately, he didn't really have any support like coming in behind him to clean up on that, because he knocked down several people, but they weren't able to get very many kills. We have a nano boost, Earth Shatter come in, clear up the point a little bit. And now Vermillion's finally on the point. They've taken this ground. Team Black's going to have to back off just a little bit. They didn't really get very many kills. You can see it's very, very scattered. Everyone's all over the place. We have a very good Graviton come in from Team Black, but the sound barrier definitely negates that, and Team Vermillion just kind of cleans up on everybody who tried to follow up on that Graviton. Also see Team Vermillion, again, they don't choose the high ground either. They decide, okay, well, we're just going to play by the point. You want to take the high ground. Yes, you want to have people in place to contest the point, but you need to have somebody up on high ground, because here comes Black. They're taking the high ground approach. They actually stay on the high ground, and Vermillion just has to kind of hide on the point. Black realizes, oh, okay, we have positional advantage. We can just kind of jump down and take this fight, which they do. They jump in with the nano boost, with the sound barrier. Quick capture. Before the fight really even started, they already captured the point because Vermillion had to back up in order to not immediately die.
Settle down, old man.
And this is a very nice sleep dart, but they try to split spawn him a little bit too much, and he actually gets saved by the Zarya. So a little bit greedy. It was good effort, but it was a little bit greedy. You can see if Vermillion had actually pushed, they could have caught them without a Reinhardt. As it is, Reinhardt charges in and gets kind of saved by the Zarya. There's a Tracer onto the point, which draws several people from Black off of the high ground. We have a very nice Graviton and a very nice Soldier ult. We're able to get a number of kills, get onto the point, and cap it.
I claim this objective.
It was a very excellent distraction play by the Tracer. And then excellent follow-up by the team.
My ultimate
So now you have a real serious miscommunication from Team Black, because those who died late in the fight are like, no, we need to take the high ground. But there were several people who were already, all 4 people you can see that were going towards the choke. So to the death on Zarya and Kid Blue on Soldier just decided, well, we're just going to take high ground, despite the fact that there's only 2 of us. And now they're just kind of waiting around for their team to go with them. If Vermillion had been taking the high ground, that could have caused some serious split spawns. Risky move by To the Death and Kid Blue. They didn't really get anything out of it, but they put themselves in danger. Yums is able to get a quick pick on Wind, exit the Tracer at the very beginning, and they're able to just bully Vermillion off the point with the Earth Shatter and Whole Hog. And they clean up, cap the point, and they were already at 99%, so with this fight they take the round. I don't know what that Graviton was, but you know, it wasn't necessary. And again, we have very assertive positioning from Team Black. They just kind of take over the point, and Team Vermillion backs off. They know that the control point doesn't unlock for another several seconds. They wait for an opening, and they do end up getting the opening. They all kind of group up. They take a good bit of damage, and then Vermillion decides, all right, well, we're going to pull in. Reaper gets in there and does a ton of damage. Reinhardt does a ton of damage as well, and Team Black just does not have the heals, especially when they get heal debuffed. They don't have the heals to last this fight, and they do get cleaned out. Kid Blue does a good job stalling, but it's not enough to keep them from capping the point for sure. He does save his team a couple seconds, which is valuable.
My ultimate is almost ready.
And so Team Black is kind of standing in the choke, but not actually engaging, which isn't something you want to do. You either want to be behind cover where you're not getting shot at, or attacking the point. But they do end up getting a massive
How many?
pulse bomb by Kid Blue. I call a little bit of luck, but because I see the play afterwards. I don't think he actually stuck anybody, but you know what? Hey, it was a good play nonetheless. I give it to him, and that alone is able to take the point. One thing I would like to point out, and maybe show this again real quick, is that after the pulse bomb, I believe we have an Earth Shatter from DWM, and that your entire team is dead. There's no follow-up for it whatsoever unless you can kill all 6 people by yourself. That's a wasted ult. You got to be mindful of the kill feed. We have Wind as a tracer kind of on the side, harassing a little bit. He ends up getting hooked by Yums though, which is unfortunate. Snoopy Face, the Rhine for Team Black, charges in, gets debuffed, almost gets killed, but he ends up earth-shattering the entire team. His team, Team Black, cleans up on Vermillion. Again, I want to see a little bit faster dealing with the Reinhardt when he charges in, because he should have died. It was really quick, but you gotta punish them when they do that. I don't think he even had a Zarya bubble on him.
My ultimate is ready. Let's do this. My ultimate is charging.
So we can see Vermillion kind of panic a little bit. They rush in all together. No shields, no defenses. They get Graviton, they get Pulse Bomb, they just get ripped apart. DWM probably shouldn't have charged there. Regardless of whether or not he had, like, say, a Zarya bubble, his team really needed his shield there, and he ended up not having it when his team needed it. And Team Black was able to just wipe the floor with him. So they have a really, really ballsy charge by Snoopy Face. He drops an Earth Shatter. Kid Blue is able to get 2 with the Pulse Bomb. Honestly, you shouldn't do that. But they get away with it. You have a flanking Zarya who gravitons several people on Team Black. There's nobody with her. I don't know why. She was able to obviously get there without really being seen, without being dealt with, but the team wasn't there with her. I'd like to see the team with her, or for her to be with her team.
Play of the match.
So some key things to take away from that I saw were Team Black needed to, when they were losing fights, it was because they weren't focusing heals very often. Focusing heals, the Ana and Lucio of Team Vermillion were not getting pressured nearly enough, especially if they have a tracer. That you should be able to get into the back line and deal with the tracer. For Vermillion side, I saw a lot of Ryan not being able to defend his team because he was charging in too much. And in some cases, the Ryan just not having the backup of his team. Sometimes if your Ryan's going in like that, you have to be able to protect him, get a Zarya bubble on him, that sort of thing. You also need to, when the opposing team has a ballsy Reinhardt, you need to be able to capitalize on that sooner. A couple times there were ults that were used at the end of a team fight after they'd already been lost or after they've been won. Team Black did a very good job of being assertive onto the point at the very beginning, taking positioning. Vermillion overall did a decent job of waiting until they had a good opening, a good way to engage, and then taking the point. They were patient